We are the Hutton family, and this is our diary of how we took our Wendy House and turned it into the beautiful aviary that we have today. Day 1 was cleanup day. Our Wendy House has been in our garden for a while and served the purpose more of a storage room for old sports equipment and children's toys. It was a lot of clearing out and sorting, giving the inside a good clean and a sweep, as well as raking up all the leaves that had accumulated. Day 2 was supplies day. We headed off early to the hardware store for tools and planks, as well as other hardware supplies. Then it was off to get some fencing mesh. This is us trying to fit an incredibly long roll of fencing mesh into my very small car. As you can see, the boot didn't close. Brad had to hop into the back seat. Luckily, it was close to home. Day 3, we now had all of our supplies, so it was a full work day at home. The kids carried up the planks to the work area and got started on painting wood with the wood treatments. They really enjoyed this part. It was really fun to get them involved. Brad had to knock out the old banister. It wasn't very stable and parts were starting to rot, and we didn't want to keep this as part of the aviary. The veranda also needed a good sand as it had developed quite a bit of mold. We had to fill in some putty as the old putty had got quite brittle and fallen out, and we were quite happy with the end result. Day 4 was a bit of a build day, which was new to us. We are not a huge DIY family. This is the first big project we've taken on. It involved putting a lot of timber around the edges and building up the frames on which the mesh would be attached to. We spent a lot of time sawing and puzzling over how we were going to attach the new planks onto the old structure, how we needed to frame up, a lot of measuring and retreating and painting, but it really turned out well and we were so happy with our framework in the end. Day 5 was probably our most challenging day. It was time to put the mesh up. We realized quite quickly this was not an easy material to work with. It bent quite a lot. It wasn't always straight in places, and these little tacks that we used to hammer them in proved to be tricky at times, but with a bit of team effort and a lot of perseverance, we managed to get the mesh up. We also continued our really fun tradition of eating lunch under the magnolia tree next to the aviary. It was a really special family time for us, and as you can see, the mesh is up and it's really starting to take shape now. Day 6 was a bit of an odds and ends day. We started off by putting up the rest of the mesh. There were little spots that didn't have any. We wanted to make sure it was secure, and then a lot of tidying up around the aviary. We wanted the outside to look as lovely as the inside, so clearing out old stones, pressure hosing the big rocks, and my most favorite part was the door. I was adamant that I was going to build us a door for the aviary from scratch, and I was really pleased with how I managed to frame it up and get it done. Day 7 started with treating the logs. I'm going to use these logs to frame the little garden section on the outside of the aviary. And there's the door going in. I was really pleased with how it had turned out. We also moved the hinges to the outside of the window so that they were easier to open. And the door's in and looking really cool, operating beautifully. Brad and the kids set the logs in place, and also the big rocks. I did all the pointing and Brad did all the heavy lifting. And then we bought these little stones just to fill in. The structure is pretty much done at this point. We celebrated by making a bonfire with the old banister planks. The kids made some s'mores, and we celebrated with some grown-up drinks. Day 8 was off to the shops again to purchase some finishing touches for the inside of the aviary. By now you can tell that we don't drive vehicles that are practical for carting things to and from the shops. So I was hoofed to the back seat while a bamboo palm got the front seats. We bought a penny gum tree and some dowel rods, as well as a mint bush, unpacked everything and got repotting, and set everything up in the aviary, and it really looks great.